Don't give up on what God is calling you to do. He hears your prayers and He will answer them. Kelly Crabb is no stranger to the Christian music world. With having a long list of accomplishments during her vocal career, she has spent more than 15 years with her family, the Crabb family, and during that time, they have received 3 Grammy nominations, 11 Dove Awards, 16 #1 songs, and many more. Today, Kelly is touring with her daughters, Kelly Crabb and the Bowling Sisters, and sharing God's love, grace, and music to remind others they can survive the struggles of life. This is her story. This is Today's Nashville. This is Faith. Kelly, it is so good to see you again. Thank you for coming on the show, Today's Nashville.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
So much has happened.
So much.
I want to go back a little bit because we talked a long time ago, but I want my friends and others to hear your story. It's an amazing story of the bus crash when you were on tour. Can you just share a little bit and then we'll move on?
Sure. So my family, we were traveling, singing. We were in singing ministry, and we were in 2010. We were traveling in North Carolina. Normal day, one afternoon, and our bus hit a semi going 60 miles an hour, and we suffered some pretty severe injuries. I broke my back. I lost a vertebrae in my back. My daughter, who is now 20, was 6 and life-flighted. And we were off the road for almost a year. And the Lord, not one life was lost. I'll never forget seeing the footage. It was on the news. We were in Charlotte at the hospital. And I'll never forget the officer saying in the footage from the news footage that he expected several, lives to be lost. And miraculously, God spared us all. And it was a faith-building moment. It was one of those, I was much younger then, and I hadn't been through near as much then, but it was a faith-building moment to have a daughter life-flighted and to go through the experience of a broken back and be down for almost a year of trusting the Lord even when it doesn't make sense.
It must have been hard for you to be separated from your daughter.
It was one of the hardest moments in my life, but one of the moments that God became so real to me, because even in that moment, I experienced His presence. So it forever changed me of how personal God is, and how even when you don't have an eloquent prayer to say, you don't have time, He shows up. So it absolutely changed my faith.
Now you are from a famous family, the Crabb family.
I am from the Crabb family, yes.
Let's go back a little bit and share what it was like growing up with all the Crabbs.
Well, it was never dull, never boring. Lots of music, as you can imagine. And I always say, we were blended family. And so it taught me, when you travel and there's 6 kids and it's chaos a lot, you learn how to go with the flow and you learn about unity. And it molded me, honestly. That molded me. Those years molded me into the person that I am today.
Where were you in the line?
Right smack dab in the middle. Right in the middle, kind of older than the twins, younger than Jason, older than Tara, so right in the middle.
Did you all get along?
For the most part, we really did. I mean, here's what we learned to do, and I don't know if this is good or bad. If you were having a moment, you just sort of go to your bunk and just sort of pray about it, and for the most part, you get over it. But we really did get along, and I think that's what made it so beautiful, is that unity is powerful.
What about those years touring with them?
Some of the best years of my life, again, made me who I am. All of that touring, it's one thing to tour, it's another thing to tour and it be ministry, because it really creates a bond. And it's so much fun, but it's bigger than you. You know what I mean? It was so much, there was a mission there, and that was to spread the love of God.
How old were you when you started?
When we started touring full-time, I was 17 years old.
Oh, 17, okay.
So very young, very formative years, and some of the best memories.
Share a little bit. Share some of those memories. How many Grammys that you?
We've been nominated for 2. And so, no, we were nominated for more than 2, but I went to 2 of them. I don't even, it's been a minute,
Dove
so I don't
Awards
even I don't even know the statistics anymore. But a lot of Dove Awards and so many neat things that we got to do together, Carnegie Hall and things like that. That that we're from Beaver Dam, Kentucky. We were a bunch of kind of country bumpkins, some would say, kids, and we had this dream, and we felt like it was a God dream. And
how did it start? I mean, how did you go from Kentucky?
Our parents were pastoring a church in Philpott, Kentucky, a little tiny country church, a beautiful little church, a sweet congregation. And we just started, we would all do the music. And it really started there. And my mom just has a great work ethic and a great business sense.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's got a great business sense. Some people are called to music, some are called to business. And she had sort of that. She was able to take it and kind of navigate, how do we make this work and make it legit? And she did it. And then Gerald was such a great songwriter, and he wrote some amazing songs. So it's sort of that combo. And then all of us were just willing to go. And so it was a beautiful moment in my life and in time for us.
Do you remember that time when you knew, okay, we've made it, or we're, this is our career, this is what we're going to do? Do you remember that time?
I sort of do. It's all a little bit, it was so quick, and we were so busy. I remember one October when I was probably 18 years old, we worked 30 days. Lots of little churches, lots of revivals. I do remember getting to a place where it was like, oh, this is working, and we were getting to make records that we wanted to make and work with people and I know this sounds so cliche when people say this, but feeling so humbled that we actually got to do it, that we actually kind of got to live this dream that we wanted to do of music and ministry. How blessed to be able to say that was our heart's desire and the Lord gave it to us. It's still very humbling.
It's a beautiful story. Did you ever miss out on like the high school events? And
yes, never went to a prom, didn't have the typical graduation, missed out on a lot, but would not trade any of it for anything. No regrets.
No regrets
None.
at all. Well, God has truly blessed you. We're going to talk more about that heartache, when your family was split apart, because a lot of families go through with it.
Yes.
And go through it, and we're going to talk about that when we come back.